Is this a drill or something?
You want this, don't you? The hate is swelling in you now.
The dark side of the Force is all about negativity, fear, anger, hate. On paper, it's easy to see the Force as black and white. The dark side is evil, the light side is good, as are the Sith and Jedi respectively. But bad as it may be, tapping into the dark side does seem to add to a Force user's strength and power. It's the easy way to attain next level skills, and who doesn't like instant gratification when those sorts of poisonous feelings are in play and they're combined with the energy of the Force? It's a recipe for disaster or death. These 5 murders and attempted murders were fueled by the dark side and executed by the very people sworn to fight it, the Jedi. Anakin and Count Dooku. The first time Anakin battled Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones, he lost most of his right arm in the fight. When he encountered the Sith in Revenge of the Sith, he didn't take any chances. Anakin and Obi-Wan came face to face with Dooku again because Dooku kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine and wouldn't release him. The Jedi took aggressive measures. After Obi-Wan was out of the fight, Dooku told Anakin he could feel the hate and anger within him, but he couldn't understand why Anakin wasn't using them. He shouldn't have said anything. Anakin disarmed Dooku, and if he would have stuck to the Jedi rules, he would have taken Dooku into custody for a trial. Instead, he let the hate and anger flow through him, and he let Palpatine goad him into executing Dooku. It was all part of Palpatine's plan. He instructed Anakin to kill Dooku. By the way, note the look of shock on Dooku's face when Palpatine says this, and comforted the Jedi afterwards by telling him Dooku was too dangerous to live.
Good, Anakin, good. Kill him.
Number 4. Leia and Jabba the Hutt. Though the only contender not technically a Jedi on this list, Leia is a stalwart defender of the light nonetheless, and the other hope if Skywalker fell in his battle against the Empire. Yet even she has used the dark side in her time of peril. The recent novel Bloodline tells us post Return of the Jedi, Leia has a nickname in the underworld: Hutt Slayer. Her murder of Jabba the Hutt is known and appreciated by many less than savory individuals, but she did it to save her life and the life of her friends. She choked the slimy, slug-like crime lord with a chain Jabba used to keep her on a leash. Yes, she's that much of a badass, but did she have help? Even though Leia had a solid position when she choked Jabba, he's a massive being compared to her, and Bloodline hinted Leia was in a heightened emotional state during the event. Yes, her adrenaline was racing, and she was feeling hate and anger towards Jabba. Given her sensitivity to the Force, it's not a leap to assume she was willingly tapping into the dark side and using that strength, because it took tremendous amount of strength that no normal human could muster to crush the muscled thick neck of Jabba the Hutt.
It's treason, then.
Mace Windu and Palpatine. When the Jedi finally realized in Revenge of the Sith that Chancellor Palpatine was the Sith Lord they'd been looking for, emphasis on the word finally because, come on, they took necessary steps to stop him. Mace Windu assembled a squad and went to Palpatine's office to arrest him. It went about as smoothly as you'd expect. Palpatine pushed back and killed most of the Jedi squad in a second. Mace was the only one left standing, and he managed to hold his own against Palpatine. He was even getting the best of the Chancellor/Sith before Anakin showed up. After Mace survived a dose of Force lightning, he ended up deciding he wanted to kill him rather than bring him in for justice. He echoed what Palpatine told Anakin about killing Dooku. Mace said Palpatine was too dangerous to be left alive. He was angry, and that fueled him. Mace would have even executed Palpatine if Anakin wouldn't have stopped him. Anakin and Tal Merrick. When you add up the Tusken Raiders and the younglings, Anakin's probably responsible for committing a huge percentage of murders fueled by the dark side, especially from one Jedi. But one from the Clone Wars really stands out. In Season 2, Tal Merrick took Duchess Satine Kryze of Mandalore, held her hostage, and threatened an act of terrorism. He was part of a group that didn't agree with Satine enforcing a pacifist society on the planet. Satine managed to get away from Tal and pull a weapon on him, and Obi-Wan was there with his lightsaber, but Tal had his finger on the trigger of an explosive device. He taunted Sabine and Obi-Wan, asking which of them would be the cold-blooded killer and take him out. But as it turns out, neither of them had to step into that role. Anakin came up from behind and killed Tal with a lightsaber through the chest. Now, Obi-Wan reacted with disappointment, but Anakin didn't question his action or show remorse, even though he could have handled the situation without killing Tal.
Come on then. Who will strike first and brand themselves a cold-blooded killer?
Honorable mention: Luke and Gamorrean guards. Luke Skywalker, sometimes considered the epitome of the light side of the Force, makes it on this list with an honorable mention. He didn't quite get a confirmed kill because of the cheeky use of the dark side, but he did indulge in a little Force choke action. When Luke waltzed casually into Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi, he gave a throat hug to two Gamorrean guards just doing their job in forcing the door. In the original trilogy, the only person we'd seen hand out Force chokes was Darth Vader. So here comes Luke, the first time we've seen him after we've met Vader on Cloud City, and he's dressed head to toe in black and making Gamorrean guards pass out, and I say pass out as there's no proof that he killed them, with a dark side confirmed move. It was disconcerting and made you wonder if Luke had decided to embrace the dark side versus the light. Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. After Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon Jinn in The Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan was left to fight Maul alone. And though he was skilled and trained, he wasn't ready at all for a fight like that, especially since he just watched the murder of his master. He should have been easy for Maul to defeat, but maybe Obi-Wan's emotions had actually helped him. Obi-Wan was understandably angry at Maul for the death of Qui-Gon. What if he didn't maintain full control over his feelings, and that anger helped him to do what was necessary to defeat Maul by slicing him in two? Vengeance? Now that's not a Jedi action. Obi-Wan was fighting to stay alive, but maybe he experienced a flash of hate for Maul that influenced his actions. Now, we know Obi-Wan had some anger issues later, because when Yoda told Force Ghost Obi-Wan that Luke, like his father, possessed too much anger, Obi-Wan said, "Was I any different when you taught me?" And even though that is a slight nod, you see the change in his disposition, the way that he bounces on his feet, waiting to attack at Maul savagely with flurries in the fight, whereas you see Qui-Gon calmly in a meditative state and Maul pacing back and forth. You could tell and feel this was a visceral fight, and he unleashed his anger, though obviously he regained his control and he was actually knighted because it was a trial of courage for him in the end. But the beauty of this video is it is just the start of the discussion. Our love for Star Wars, it does surround and it binds us together. So let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite dark side murder? Because if you love Star Wars, I want to talk to you about it. It's as simple as that, my friends. If you want to stay up to date with the latest Star Wars videos on origins, games, and theories, don't forget to use those Force powers of yours and hit subscribe. And hey, leave a comment below about what you want to see in future videos. It may just get covered. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Always.